Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for our final session of our talk on menopause. I trust you have had a great week and a great Sabbath, a great day, and that you are as excited as I am to get this going. How is everyone? Just want to make sure that I'm not.
We are good.
Awesome. All right, at this time, I'm going to ask Sister Jackie, if you could, I'm going to say a prayer.
Dee,
Yes.
before you go, there's a light that is reflecting in your glasses before you go live.
Okay, hold on.
No, how are you gonna get rid of that?
Do some closing of windows and see what happens. Let's see. Is that any better? No.
No, it's in your glasses. Sure why. Okay, go ahead.
I think it's just, hold on. Okay. Okay, let us get started. Right, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started. Father, thank you so much for being with us throughout this day. Thank you for another opportunity to speak to individuals that are on whatever platform they may be joining us from now and those that may be viewing in the future. Lord, may you use me to bring understanding and to bring a knowledge of what individuals go through, not just women, but spouses as well as women face this chapter of their lives. I pray that after today, we'll all have a better understanding of the wonders of creation because you, God, created us the way you did. So, Lord, as we start this session now, I pray that your guidance will be with us and that you will bring understanding and wisdom and a clarity to the words that I will speak this afternoon. May you give clarity to your words as Jackie reads now for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. The scripture for meditation this evening is taken from Psalm 139, and I am reading from verses 14 to 16, and it reads, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. Here endeth the reading of God's holy word.
Amen. So that says, whatever we are, God has created us. So let's get into the session for this afternoon. I'm sorry. There's a quote, a beautiful woman uses her lips for truth, her voice for kindness, her ears for compassion, her hands for charity, and her heart for love. But those who do not like her, she uses prayer. So as always, we go into our menopause IQ. Says true or false. Remember, you do your questions and you write them on paper So at the end, we'll see what your IQ was on menopause. True or false, bladder issues are just a myth and can be easily resolved. True or false again, vaginal dryness is not a common occurrence during menopause. Divorce is common during the perimenopausal and menopausal period, and menopause places a strain on marital relationship. The decline of estrogen and testosterone does not impact a woman's desire for sex. Estrogen is responsible for maintaining the elasticity, moisture, and flexibility of the vulva and the lining of the vagina. There are no products currently available to decrease vaginal dryness. The frequency with which one engages in sexual activity can decrease the irritability a woman feels due to vaginal dryness. $1.8 billion is lost in time per year, per work year, due to women suffering from menopausal symptoms. Now, one of the hidden secrets of menopause is vaginal and bladder issues. Menopause can result in thinning, dryness, and inflammation of the vaginal area. Vaginal dryness is a common symptom of menopause, and the term genitourinary syndrome or of menopause or atrophic vaginitis is the terminology that is used to describe this dryness. Some of the causes, as we discussed in previous sessions, was low estrogen level, which in turn causes thinning and weakening of the vaginal tissues, making the individual more prone to irritation of the vaginal area. This dryness is not only uncomfortable, but can trigger other symptoms, such as painful sexual activities. Thus, I coined the phrase menopause, because that is one of the reasons that women may be reluctant to engage in sexual activities with their spouse due to the pain. There is increased itching or dryness, abnormal vaginal discharge and burning due to discomfort, increased or urinary frequency, and irritation of the vulva. There is also joint and muscle pain. Estrogen have receptors in the joints, and when where there is decrease or no estrogen, then you have the risk of osteoporosis and arthritis. Now, the joints and muscle pain can be related to a number of causes, including a decline in the estrogen level. So the painful joints should never be ignored, okay? So estrogen, or lack thereof, affects the cartilage in the bone, which then cause your bones to rub against each other, like at the knees, at the hips, and that causes pain. So a drop in testosterone levels add to the lower level of estrogen and progesterone can also result in a decline in muscles for women. So your muscular strength is no longer there. So add that to the pain in your knee, the muscle strength being decreased, and you may not want to get up and go because of the pain and the increased weakness. So menopausal joint, tendon, muscle, or bone pain, it's like a dull ache or just a twig or shooting sensation with joint stiffness. The pain can impact more than 50% of menopausal women, making exercise a challenge, okay? So if you don't exercise, what happens? There is weight gain. So how do we manage this pain so that we can have some quality of life? As we said before, even though there may be pain and discomfort, keep moving. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk fast, walk slow. If you can't walk slow, creep, crawl, but do something, keep moving. You can take medication as prescribed by your medical provider, and be sure to contact your healthcare provider if this pain or does not go away. And in addition to that, you're having increased fatigue and fever. So those aren't symptoms to take lightly. So according to a survey that was conducted by the Family Law Menopause Project and Newson Health Research and Education, 7 in 10 women, or 73%, blame menopause for the breakdown in their marriage. 67% of the 1,000 women who participated claimed that menopause resulted in an increase in domestic abuse as well as increase in arguments between them and their spouse. Only 5% of these women sought support to talk about the menopause or the symptoms they were having, because they did not consider these symptoms to be contributing factor to their relationship. Because again, we're going through symptoms or situations, but no one is paying attention to it or attributing the signs of menopause to the social issues that they may be experiencing. So there were approximately 13 women of menopausal age living in the United States alone. 1 in 4 of these women are having reported severe symptoms. 9.5 million marriages in the United Kingdom is said to be under threat or at risk of a breakdown because of hormone imbalance that no one is paying attention to or is not understanding it enough to connect the dots, to recognize that the problems in the marriage is being attributed to menopause. So from this study, although approximately 80% admitted that their perimenopausal or menopausal symptom put a strain on their families, only a third of these women said that they were treated or offered hormone replacement therapy. 65% of those who were offered said it made a positive difference or an impact on their menopausal symptoms and therefore on their relationship. 70% of those who did not receive treatment felt it would have had a positive outcome had they had the opportunity to take these medications. So the peak time, as we mentioned before, is said to be between 45 and 55 years of age. And this is also when it is said that the rate of divorce increases. So 8 in 10 women who reported symptoms of perimenopause or menopause reported an overlapping of this time and the marital problems or issues that they began experiencing in their relationship. Neither spouse understood the hormonal changes and how they were impacting their bodies. So how do they communicate their feelings about these symptoms when they do not understand what is happening? They just know that, there is a problem in their relationship, but they're not attributing the fact that they may be uncomfortable or whatever the situation might be that they're experiencing. They're not attributing that to their menopausal symptoms. So lack of communication is cited as the main reason for breakdown in relationships. Couples need to engage in honest and open relationship about what is happening in this phase of their lives. As we said before, everybody is coming out of some closet or another. But women are still closing the door, not either recognizing or being willing to talk about what is happening, the changes and the difficulties or challenges that they might be experiencing in their bodies. So open communication will help to take away the vulnerability and possible embarrassment that women or even their spouse may be experiencing at this time. Empathy That's seeing the issue through the lens of each other's eyes. That will go a long way in seeking a workable solution. So if the woman, whether or not she understands that all this is as a result, the problems they're experiencing is as a result of menopause, sharing those problems with their spouse can make an impact. So if you have always enjoyed a fulfilling or satisfying sex life, don't allow menopause to steal your joy. If the opposite is true, you're alive, there is still opportunity. So there is work to be done. A study done by Forbes Advisor cited infidelity or extramarital affair as being 34% responsible for divorce. 31% was due to lack of intimacy, and 31% was due to the increased conflict and arguing in the relationship. So tie all the difficulties that a woman may be going through at this time that might procure her from engaging in sexual activities, and tie that to the peak of divorce. And we cannot ignore the correlation between the two. We cannot ignore the correlation between what research has said that has increased the arguments and the the conflicts in the relationship at that time. So in 1 Corinthians 7, verse 3 and 5, it says the husband should fulfill the duties to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. Do not deprive each other, except by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourself to prayer, then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So what does the Bible say about sex? May you rejoice in the wife of your youth, a loving doe, a graceful deer. May her breast satisfy you always. May you ever be intoxicated with her love. The scripture says it better than I ever could. We are to rejoice in our spouse and be intoxicated in the love for one another. So if, as females, we're allowing a challenge that is fixable to interfere with our relationship, remember what 1 Corinthians chapter says, that one should not deprive the other except by mutual agreement. So therefore, we should find a way around the challenges that we're having to ensure that both individuals are satisfied. And as I go further in the study, in the presentation, you'll realize that there are ways around the discomfort that an individual might be experiencing. So taking time to be together, getting family time. Kids are oftentimes grown, and it is now the empty nester. Kids are away at college. So planning a couple's getaway is a good way to rekindle the flame. Taking care of yourself, relearning how to prioritize yourself, how to take care of your needs and that of your spouse during this time, recognizing and dealing with the mood swings, and talking to your spouse about it, because it's not just I'm not in the mood and the conversation ends, because as a couple, you have a responsibility towards each other. Educate yourselves and your spouses on the symptoms of menopause and the impact it might be having on you. New data supports what is termed a menopause divorce, and studies show that a greater number of women are seeking divorce during the menopausal period. So it's not just that the men are seeking divorce, there's the women that are seeking divorce at this time. Avoiding intimate times with your spouse may send a message that you no longer find him attractive, or you're no longer interested in him. Whereas that might be the opposite. You may still be attracted to your husband, but because of the discomfort you're feeling, you are putting your husband on pause. A healthy discussion could go a long way in decreasing your anxiety and stress level as it relates to this issue. So try increasing the frequency with which you engage in sexual activity. This may preserve the vaginal tissues, keeping it from becoming more irritated, because arousal causes an increase in the blood flow to the genital area. And this in turn boosts the health of the tissue. So abstaining doesn't help. Increasing the frequency with which you engage in sexual activities will actually help you to get rid of the dryness and the discomfort. So we're going to talk about how we can increase the estrogen level naturally. So if you're having symptoms associated with low estrogen, there are natural approaches that you can take. Keep in mind, however, that research on these are still in progress, but it shows that these can help. So natural solutions are plant-based. Plants contain natural phytochemical compounds that work as antioxidants and offer protection from DNA damage. One group of these phytochemicals, called phytoestrogen, mimics the estrogen when eaten. So your body then absorbs this phytoestrogen during digestion and recognizes it as actual estrogen. So you get the effect from eating these foods because your body considers it to be estrogen. So food containing high levels of such phytochemicals are fruits, including apples, berries, grapes, peaches, pears, and plums. And I hope both you and your husband are taking notes of what to add to your shopping list. Grains such as barley, oats, and wheat germ. Liquids derived from plants, especially olive oil. There are nuts and seed, especially almonds, flax seeds, peanuts, sesame seed, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, cashews, pecans, walnuts, and pine nuts. Soy and soy products such as soybeans, tofu, miso soup, and miso paste. And of course, vegetables, particularly broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, onions, spinach, and sprouts. So these are things you can add to your shopping list starting tomorrow, or if you go shopping tonight. So foods that are rich in boron. Boron is a mineral. Avocados, apricots, peaches, prunes. So boron is essential for bone and bone growth and maintenance, wound healing, and it beneficially impacts the body's use of estrogen, testosterone, and vitamin D. And those, we know estrogen and testosterone are sex hormones. They also boost magnesium absorption, and we know that magnesium is also good for sleep. So if you're having insomnia, magnesium is a good solution. It's a mineral that is found in every organ in the body and is very essential for the nervous system and bone density. It is the most abundant mineral in the body with over 3,000 receptor sites. Vitamin E is essential as well, and some of the foods are listed here: sunflower seeds, pine nuts, peanut butter, spinach, red bell peppers, green leafy vegetables, almonds, asparagus, blackcurrant, hazelnuts, wheat germ oil, mangoes, tomatoes, broccoli, sunflower oil, fortified cereals, avocado, pickled olives, peanuts, and butternut squash. So these are all natural foods that you can get in your local grocery store, and they will go a long way towards your health, not just your physical health, but your sexual health as well. Foods that are rich in vitamin B, same foods, avocado, banana and citrus fruits such as your oranges, green peas, brown rice, your seeds again, the chia, pumpkin, sunflower, and flax, spinach, plant milk, plant-based milk, legumes, and apples. So the information that is being given is not to treat, it's not to diagnose, it's just informational, and there's no promotion for any products at all that will be shared. It is just knowledge and research that is being shared. For anyone wanting to utilize these products, please, especially if you have medical conditions, seek the advice of your medical provider or your neuropathic, naturopathic provider for treatment options. So according to the Mayo Clinic, hormone replacement therapy is a medication which contains female hormones. And these medications are prescribed to replace estrogen, which your body no longer produces due to menopause. Hormonal therapy is also used to treat menopausal symptoms such as the vaginal discomfort that we mentioned and hot flashes, as well as to prevent bone loss and reduce fracture in postmenopausal women. So whereas hormone replacement therapy was once given routinely to menopausal women, a large study that was done showed that it does present health risk to the individual taking it, cardiac risk, and so it is no longer routinely prescribed. And again, it's a discussion with you and your provider. So there is systemic estrogen, which comes in the form of pill, skin patch, ring, gels, foam, spray, or cream. And this typically consists of a higher dose of estrogen that is absorbed throughout the body, and again, commonly to treat menopausal symptoms. There are low doses of vaginal preparation of estrogen that comes in the form of cream or tablets and a vaginal ring, and minimizes the amount of estrogen that is absorbed by the body. Because of this low dose, vaginal preparations are usually used just to treat vaginal and urinary symptoms that are experienced during this time. So these were some of the risks that was posed as a result of consuming or taking the hormone replacement therapy, the increased risk for heart disease, stroke, blood clots, and breast cancer. Okay? So some of the natural remedies, black cohosh. So people use this Native American herbal remedy to treat menopausal symptoms that are associated with low estrogen. A small study done showed that it was effective in treating hot flashes. The red leaf clover was also noted to help in this as well. It's a herbal supplement which is rich in phytoestrogen. And remember, we said phytoestrogen mimics the estrogen produced by the body. And it was shown to be effective in alleviating hot flashes in menopausal women. Whether or not it increases estrogen is still under research. So this is what the red clover looks like. And it is a wild plant belonging to the legumes family. It is a perennial plant and grows in meadows throughout Europe and Asia, but has been naturalized in the North American region. The flower is usually dried and used for therapeutic purposes. Modern science have shown that red clover contain isoflavonoids, which are plant-based chemicals that produce estrogen-like effect on the body. And isoflavonoids have shown potential in the treatment of several conditions associated with menopause. Some of these conditions were hot flashes, cardiovascular health, and osteoporosis as well. And red clover is also known to be used in cancer treatments. It is a source of many nutrients, including calcium, magnesium, niacin, phosphorus, potassium, vitamin C, thiamine, and it's a very rich source of isoflavonoids, as we just said. One study found that menopausal women taking red clover supplements had stronger, more flexible arteries, which can help prevent heart disease. It may also have blood thinning properties, which prevents blood clots from forming. Research believes that isoflavonoids, like the one found in red clover, may help reduce symptoms of menopause, such as hot flashes, night sweats, because of the estrogen-like effect that it has on the body. So a few preliminary studies suggest that the extract of the red clover isoflavonoids may slow bone loss and even boost bone mineral density in pre- and perimenopausal women. It is available in a variety of preparations, including teas, tinctures, tablets, capsules, liquid extracts, just to name a few. So this slide talks about the dosage. 1 to 2 teaspoons of the dried flower leaf may be steeped in hot water for about a half hour and can be consumed as 2 to 3 cups daily. In the powdered form, it's also available, and it's 40 to 160 milligrams per day, or 28 to 35 milligrams of red clover isoflavonoids. It can be used as tincture as well, and that can be taken 3 times a day. But it's not to be applied to open wound without a doctor's prescription or supervision. So there were no serious side effects that were seen on research when for those who had taken the red clover for at least a year. And the side effects that they did notice included headaches, nausea, and a rash. The research cautioned individuals that are diagnosed with breast cancer to not use it without first discussing with their physician due to the risk of bleeding, because again, it does have anticoagulant properties, which then is a blood thinner and can increase the risk of bleeding. So the black cohosh is a flowering plant that's native in the eastern part of the United States and Canada, and it is known for relieving symptoms of menopause and has several potential benefits. It is said to be effective because of the phytoestrogen properties, a plant which again, we said mimic estrogen. So you see all of these plants are helpful because they mimic estrogen. So in menopause, you're low on estrogen, consuming these herbs can, and fruits and vegetables can improve the level of estrogen and therefore lessen the symptoms that you might experience in menopause. Most individuals take this because of its known benefits of alleviating menopausal symptoms, which makes it very compelling for other, it's believable in essence because it is known to relieve these symptoms. It has the benefits also of it positively impacting mental health, particularly in a menopausal woman. And research have found that although consumption of this herb may not take away anxiety or may not impact someone suffering from anxiety that much, because of the effect that it has on decreasing the symptoms of menopause, one's anxiety level that they may be experiencing at this time is decreased. So it may not treat anxiety, but because of the relief it has on all the other symptoms, the level of anxiety during this time that a woman may be experiencing is lessened. There was not much evidence showing that it had any significant impact on sleep, but again, because it may improve the hot flashes and those other symptoms, the insomnia is relieved. So side effects were noted to be mild, but it has also been linked to some severe cases of liver damage. So anyone suffering from any illness or have comorbidities that's relating to liver disease is cautioned to seek medical advice before taking this supplement. So folks with like hepatitis diseases should seek medical advice before taking the supplement. The ashwagandha is an ancient arugula herb known for its stress relief, reducing and mood enhancing properties. It is also known to boost libido and sexual function in women by reducing the anxiety and promoting relaxation. And we can find those in the health food store. Epidemidium is also known as horny goat weed, and it is a traditional Chinese herb that improves sexual function and libido in women by increasing the blood flow and stimulating the sensory nerve. It is said to contain icariin, which acts in a similar manner to the actual ingredient that is found in Viagra. And one of the stories that I read was that the reason it is called the horny goat weed, it's because where it was grown, goats were feeding on this herb, and they realized that these goats were very sexually active. So when the research was done, they realized that it does increase. It has the same icariin, which is in Viagra. So again, folks, the health food store, I'm sure, carries all these herbs, and the grocery store carries all the fruits and vegetables. So we're looking at, I'm sorry about that. We're looking at ways to improve one's sexual functioning and satisfaction during the menopausal period of life. We are recognizing, as we read, that our bodies are beautifully and wonderfully made, and God, who created us, knew that there would be conditions called perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. God also knew the challenges that would be faced, and He has created the herbs. Herbs is for the healing. So the herbs, our food is our medicine, or medicine is our food. So all of that is available to take away the discomfort that one might be facing during this period of time. So it is no longer an excuse. Knowledge, by beholding we become change. So by listening, I pray that all that have had the excuse or have the urge, but have not acted on the urge because of the discomforts and all the other symptoms of menopause, now you know that there is a remedy out there, okay? So the maca root, that is a Peruvian superfood and a natural aphrodisiac, that helps balance hormone, increases energy, enhance sexual desire in women due to the amount of vitamins, mineral, and the unique compound that it has. The Mura puma is a bush that is grown in the Amazon region, and the wood and root are used to make medicine. It is used for sexual disorders, increasing sexual desires in healthy people, and it also helps with menstrual disorders, joint pains. And again, remember, it's very common with joint pains in menopause, and it also helps with other conditions of menopause as well. St. John's wort has been shown to improve mild to moderate depression in the general population and shows some efficacy for mood disorders related to the menopausal transition. So again, for those that may be experiencing mental disorders as a result or depressive symptoms as a result of menopause, here is a potential answer to your prayer. So the Korean red ginseng, there was a blind study done that shows that the extract from this herb improves sexual function in menopausal women. It shows that the oral administration of this extract improved sexual arousal in women, in menopausal women. And this was an alternative medicine in menopausal women that was used to improve their sexual life. So it did show that it was very beneficial. So vitamin E, in a blind study that was done, a randomized blind study that was done, showed that vitamin E, when combined with the red ginseng, did improve sexual desires and satisfaction in menopausal women as well. Oats. One would never believe that the qualities in oats is also very helpful in treating symptoms of menopause. So oats is packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals, vitamin B6, and E, vitamin E, magnesium, zinc, iron, and plant-based compound like lignans. Oats is known for its cooling and soothing properties, making them an effective natural remedy for symptoms that women may be experiencing during menopause. It contains various nutrients such as magnesium, phosphorus, which are integral in maintaining bone health. So the high levels of vitamins B6 and magnesium that is contained in oats play an important role in stabilizing one's mood, decreasing anxiety and depressive symptoms. Because of the calcium that it has, it's the beta glucans found in oats improves the calcium absorption, making it beneficial towards bone health. And these nutrients that are found in oats improves mental well-being as well as support the neurotransmitter synthesis and functioning. So the complex carbohydrates that's found in oats is used in the production of serotonin and therefore helps with mood and promoting a feeling of relaxation. Vitamin D, as we know, the best source is always sunlight. And for those who are not able to, well, now is summertime, so there's no excuse, but in the wintertime, taking supplements of vitamin D is helpful as well. But the best source of vitamin D is exposure to sunlight and beats any supplements that one can take. Zinc, when included in our daily regimen, can be a game changer for managing menopausal symptoms. Zinc's ability to regulate the stress hormone, which is cortisol, helps to stabilize mood fluctuation commonly seen in the menopausal phase. The best form of zinc is said to be the citrate, and it is one of the essential trace minerals that the body needs in small amounts. The body does not store zinc, so it needs to be consumed on a daily basis. These are some of the oils that can be used for vaginal dryness. Again, this is not meant to promote any product. These are just products that are on the market that can be used to help a woman who may be experiencing vaginal dryness. Again, some of these are oil-based, so can be a little messy. Comfrey oil can be used as an oil or a salve, and that can ease vaginal discomfort as well as strengthen the tissues in the vagina, which can become thin and dry due to low estrogen. The tissues as well can be, a woman is susceptible to tears because of the thinning of the vaginal wall, can be also used as a lubricant during sexual activity. Motherwort can be used for menstrual cramps, but is also known to help aid with hot flashes and mood swings. It regulates hot flashes and hormonal mood swings. It can take the edge and intensity of symptoms within 20 minutes of consumption, although symptoms may not disappear completely with the first dose, but it is known to be very helpful. So again, God's plan for his children is always for us to be in good health. 3 John 2, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prospereth. There are 8 laws of health that I would like to briefly mention. And the acronym New Start. New, the N, nutrition. It is always beneficial to consume a nutritious diet always. And that helps in every situation. We've shared the vegetables and the fruits, some of the phytoestrogen that are in our normal food, or fruits or vegetables, the seeds that we consume. So these are helpful to start adding to your diet if you do not already do so. The E, exercise. Doesn't matter how painful your joints may be, keep moving. If you took 1 step today, take 2 tomorrow. If you walked 10 feet yesterday, try walking 20 feet today. Keep moving. Exercise is essential for life. You can't be too young or you can't be too old to engage in it, okay? Water, it is important to consume adequate amounts of water. There are many theories out there as to how much water one should consume, but you could always consume, it's your body weight divided by 2, and the result should be computed into ounces, and that is the baseline for the amount of water that you need to consume each day. S, sunlight, vitamin D. The greatest source that you can have of vitamin D is in the sunlight. So don't be afraid. Use your sunscreen oil if you need to, or lotion, but get out there into the sun. It is a good source for us, a good source of health. The T, temperance. Be temperate in all that we do. In everything, whether it is good, do be moderate or temperate in consuming that which is good, and little or none of what is not beneficial to us. So even as we're eating, we're saying, eat a nutritious diet. Still, we should not overeat. We should always be moderate in everything that we do. Air. Get outside, get outdoors. Air is good for us. Crack your windows, regardless of whether it is summer, winter, autumn, spring. Open your windows a little bit, especially at night, to get some fresh air in your room. Rest, can't get enough of it. Rest, adequate amount of sleep is important for all of us. At least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, undisturbed sleep each night. It will do our bodies good. It will give us a new perspective on life. And I know that the challenges of menopause pose, one of the challenges, insomnia, but prayerfully, as we change the way we're looking at our current situation, change the way we're eating, start adopting a new lifestyle, I pray that what we have learned in these 3 sessions will help with some of the reasons that we're not able to sleep. So if the hot flashes are the reason you're not able to sleep, we've given you prayerfully some great advice on how you can decrease those hot flashes so that you can get some good night's rest. And of course, trust in God. God who made us knew exactly what we would be going through as women. I pray that we trust him enough to recognize that he has asked us to cast our cares upon him. And if the burdens that we're now bearing is called menopause, then he has invited us to give him those challenges. If the burdens we're carrying is menopausal symptoms coupled with all the other social issues that we might be experiencing as a result, he has invited us to cast those burdens on him as well. And he promises that he will take care of us. So he has extended the invitation to us to bring all our cares and concerns to him. He's not man that he should lie. He has said in his words that doing what we consider to be challenging is but a light thing for him to do. So my admonition to you, my encouragement to each of us is to recognize that God is true to his word. He says, test him. He says, try me, test me, and see if I will fulfill that which I promised you that I would. He said, I will not give you more than you can bear. And if he has said all that, then I pray that you know that you can take him at his word. You know that you can trust him to do for you what he says he will do. I know from personal experience that God is true to his word. And I trust you will as well, because menopausal symptoms is no match for the God we serve. He can do all things, okay, besides fail. So if he has asked, if he has invited, accept the invitation and see exactly what he will do, because I am sure, I am certain without a doubt that our God is able to take away those discomfort and give us a life of freedom. Menopause, dear ladies, is not, it's not a disease. It is not something to be feared. It is not something to shun. It is actually a phase of life that we should embrace. When you think about the fact that women are living now to be in their 80s and 90s, and if women are entering into menopause in their 40s and some in their 30s, then it means that we're spending most of our lives living in this phase. Does it not make sense that we enjoy it? I think it does. I think that the God that I know, love, and trust would not put us through something that he's not there with us on, or that would be so challenging for us that we cannot survive. I'm inviting you right now to cast your cares on him, the care of menopause, and watch him. Just watch him take care of your symptoms. Just trust and believe. So here's a quote from Caroline Carr. So the very best way that you can help yourself is to develop and sustain a positive attitude. The way you think and feel about everything will make all the difference to your experience. The way we think about menopause, if we consider menopause to be something to be hush-hush about, then we're suffering. As a friend of mine said, I suffered in silence for years. we don't have to. We really don't. It's a phase of life to embrace. It's a phase of life that we should give joy to. Let not your happiness go away just because. Beloved, I pray that you prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers. May you continue to prosper and be in health. Thank you for spending the past hour with me. I will now go to our IQ, our menopause IQ, and we will answer those questions that we posed at the start. Okay, so our first question was true or false? Bladder issues are just a myth and can be easily resolved. Well, in our discussion, we found that bladder issues, thank you. Thank you for answering. The bladder issues do affect women, can cause frequency of urination, so it is not always easily resolved and may need medical attention. True or false, vaginal dryness is not a common occurrence during menopause. Vaginal dryness actually happens.
Yeah.
It happens during menopause, and hopefully you would have found some of the information that was given very helpful if you're experiencing that. With the dryness we mentioned, one can be easily torn because of the dryness coupled with the thin walls of the vagina. Divorce is common during the perimenopausal and menopausal period that a woman goes through. Yes, it is, because women, you cannot because we're going through menopause does not mean that your husband have to be on pause as well. We've seen it, we read it, so that none should deprive the other. So there are now, I hope that you have created your grocery list and planned your visit to the health food store to get the things that you need, so that you can, as Pastor Ron would say, would pray for couples, and he asked God to turn the temperature a little bit up in the bedroom, not the physical temperature, but the temperature that will cause, fun things to happen. So divorce does not have to be a part of your life because of menopause, okay? Menopause places a strain on the marital relationship. Unfortunately, it does. The divorce rate, it correlates with menopausal period that women go through. And I pray that we can put a pause on divorce as well. Divorce that is being caused by menopause. The decline in estrogen and testosterone does not impact a woman's desire for sex. It does impact a woman's desire for sex. So that needs to be, but we have given the formula for the phytoestrogen, the food that contains that. Estrogen is responsible for maintaining the elasticity, the moisture, flexibility of the vulva and the lining of the vagina. Yes, it is. So when the estrogen level is depleted or is very low, then we have the dryness and the thinning of the walls. So there are no products currently available for decreasing vaginal dryness. There are tons of products out there, including the food that we eat. So let our medicine be our food and our food our medicine. The frequency with which one engages in sexual activity can decrease the irritability a woman feels due to vaginal dryness. We did show that, yes, increase in the frequency of sexual activity does increase the blood flow to that area, which then helps to build healthy tissues. $1.8 billion in working time $1.8 billion in working time is lost per year due to women suffering from menopause. That is true. A lot of women are going through the severity with which they experience their hot flashes, the depressive moods, mood swings do result in time out from work. So the more we get our symptoms under control, the better off everyone will be, because this is women could lose their jobs for, unscheduled absences from work. So it does stand to reason that if there are illnesses that we can, or situations that we can treat and address, it does stand to reason that we do so. Any questions, any comments? And again, thank you for spending your time with me.
Very informative presentation, sister. Learned
Thank
a
you.
lot. Thank you.
All right, if there are no questions.
Hi, Sister Dorett.
Hi, Maxine, how are you?
Not too bad. I just want to thank you so much. I had no idea of some of the symptoms that menopause. I never really take a closer look at it, but if a person is going through menopause and they're losing their hair, which one of the recommendation that's there, I'm not saying it will solve the problem, that you would recommend to the person that they can use to help with their menopause?
You probably need to look at the nutrients that can improve hair growth, the zinc, and like it may require you to go see your provider and to do blood tests to see what you're maybe lacking in, what nutrients you need to improve hair growth. Biotin supplements that can improve that, and your vitamins.
Okay, thank you. So if a person is going through menopause and they're not aware of the symptoms, or they're not having any symptoms according to their knowledge, does that mean that they are taking the right measurement of what they need to supply their body the proper nutrients?
Or they may just be blessed and not go through any symptom at all. Not everyone go through the fiery darts of menopause.
Okay.
I see your hand, Sister Courtney. So you thank God, if for not going through them, and you pray up your sisters that are.
Yeah, that was a great I learned a lot. I just want to thank you so much for the presentation. And I did have a question, like, I guess, and forgive me because you might have mentioned some things, but my phone was going in and out. But like, I'm not sure if I am going through premenopausal or not, so like to prevent the harsh the things that come with it, the symptoms, are you just saying like make sure that we're eating the certain fruits and vegetables, or the specific fruits and vegetables, and just have herbs on hand, or can we use them in preparation or prevention, so that we can avoid the symptoms?
There's nothing wrong with prophylaxis. There's nothing wrong with eating the right amount of foods to get your body in gear, because if you're going through premenopausal symptom, it means that no matter what, as we age, the estrogen level is getting lower. So if you're eating foods, the phytoestrogen foods, to maintain that level, then chances are you will not go through the severity of menopause that others who may not consume such may go through. So there's nothing wrong with eating healthy.
Right.
Prevention is the best medicine.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Hi, Sister Dorett.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering my question, which was, what are some of the ways naturally that you can help with the whole process of how bodies and stuff changing? Thank you so very much.
So,
But I do want to ask another question. The other question was, and I think it's the last session. You spoke about how the girls, the girls are getting their menstrual younger,
mm-hmm.
and I had asked, is that, could it be a part of what they're eating? Like how, how they're doing some of the the meats and stuff, so that they can grow really fast and big and plump. And then of course we're feeding our girls, our children, so they are, their bodies is growing faster, I guess, in stages. Am I wrong?
I think it's very interesting that you asked that question, because at the time when I think you had mentioned it last time, and I said my research hadn't led me in that direction, but it is fair to conclude that if you're feeding hormones to into the foods that we eat, it's going to end up in our bodies. So the same effect that we expect it to have on our food, it will have on us as well. And I saw something to that very same effect. It was showing the size of chickens years and years ago to what it is now, within that same time, as they grow for farming, or for sale. You see the chicken being so miniature, and now it is like quadruple size what it used to.
Yes.
So it stands to reason that if we're putting growth hormones in, it's going to end up in our bodies. And the same
Yes.
effect it has on the food source, it's going to have on us.
Thank you so very much. I have to say, this was excellent. I mean, it was complete, all the information, and this was really great. What are you going to do next? I can't wait. Thank you.
I will
God
let you know
bless.
how God leads. Thank you. Sister Courtney?
Yeah, I wanted to say in response to the young lady who just asked the question, I did watch a presentation where there was research that did show that, in like North America, especially in the United States, that the young girls are getting their cycles, so early, as young
Earlier.
as old, whereas in other countries, like in Europe, where certain chemicals are not allowed in the foods or in the food processing, where those young ladies are not experiencing what the young ladies here are. So, it's unfortunate, but if you're living in the US, there's certain
Yeah.
things that are allowed in the foods that are harmful, that are cancer causing, or that are illness causing, or changing our hormones and things. So yeah, it's a reality.
Yeah. It is, unfortunately so.
I have one comment to add to what she just said as well. When I did not have the knowledge of the plant-based, God's way of God's plan for man and the diet, feeding the children, go to McDonald's, go to Burger King, go to, and give them all those foods, they were blowing up real fast. And cutting it out and changing their diet, not only help them to grow more naturally, and the doctors constantly asking, they don't have the period yet. They don't have the period yet, because they're so accustomed to 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old coming in already have and mine haven't had none yet. So it pushes back the time to allow them to enjoy their childhood before that burden is come upon them. Not that having your menstrual is a burden, but the responsibility of having to, so just I'll give them a little more years before they experience that. And I notice also sometimes you can do research on your own self. Being on a plant-based diet is a different behavior than when you're on a meat diet. And the transition, having menopausal syndrome from the age of 25, um, cutting out the meat diet altogether and just go plant-based, mostly raw. I find it reverses all the symptoms that you have, and it kind of give you a happy buzz because your body don't have the pressure to have to try to digest the
Mhm.
meat and break it down, which take days, and to have your body um, spewing out that waste and have it smelling, and to be in a plant-based diet, whereas your digestion is a little more easier on the body. You're able to sleep better as soon as your head hit the pillow. You out. You don't need any supplement. I can sleep anywhere. And the transition between being miserable in my own skin to being so happy that I know Miss Phyllis can tell you when I'm at church, it's a happy buzz. My family's tired of me always in the morning. Good morning, everywhere I go. It's like the feeling is amazing in your body when you don't. And I find when I take milk thistle helps me as well. I don't have no any symptoms. I know some people that ask me, what's good when you're losing your hair, when you're going through menopause. That's why I asked you that question. But me, I just have an overall happy buzz. And it's like you don't want that to go away, so you don't want to go backwards, and keep it going. It's
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
are afraid to become plant-based eaters because they feel they're gonna get too skinny. I'm not skinny, and whether you are, it's all the bad fat, bad diet. Once that goes away, your body will just naturally.
Your body
Um,
will thank you.
yes, thank you.
If you haven't watched the first two series, Maxine, I suggest you do. Especially you have two young girls, so you will see the effect of early periods and stuff like that. So it would be good to watch those.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm. Any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for spending the time with me. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so and share the link with others. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening and have a good night.